One.
Relate.
I was like
Relate.
5 seconds late.
Relate. Don't worry.
Welcome to the Late Sesh.
It's a
You,
very important date.
yes, the 1st of May as we begin this new month. Hopefully it warms up for us. And
It's got to, man. It's got to.
11:01 on May 1.
yes.
It was cold. I did not
See,
enjoy it outside
Is it
today.
May Day or is May Day tomorrow?
May Day.
Today
I think
May
it's
Day?
today.
it is
I
today.
saw it.
Everybody, I know that at least in my jurisdiction tomorrow there's a vote. So you might want to check to see if your jurisdictions have votes. But I'm
what?
going on purpose and getting up early so I can go vote down a millage that I don't want to pay more taxes on.
Oh, shit. What's that going on?
So
How
I'll
do
give
you
you.
know everyone's going to vote?
I don't know if they will. Most people don't vote on these things. That's why your votes count so much more on these. So I'll get up early for that.
I got to check
A
on
lot of
that.
people don't like
those are the ones
get
in
up
the city.
the early bird voting thing because nobody wants to get up and do it. But really, everybody should. It will make a difference. Hopefully, maybe. But
Yeah, the local voting absolutely makes a difference.
I mean, I'll vote for whoever's lowering taxes, and that never happens. You never have somebody that's like, I'm going to actually lower it.
Well, generally speaking, the Libertarian Party is kind of that way. They want to like reduce a lot, like eliminate the IRS and just have a national sales tax. You know, things that make sense.
I'm talking like locally though.
Yeah,
It's like
Spartan, that's
the
exactly why they don't
three
include
guys you get to
the
vote
Libertarian
for.
Party in the national debates because it makes sense.
Yeah.
And it would like do
Which
good.
is why I don't believe in that dual party system when we have multiple parties and they only allow two of them to be included.
Well, there's the two parties are really the same party, and they've stacked the deck against everybody else. So it's always just us for or them, and they split the country in half, and it's us for them. You could have run it for a couple years, you could have run it for a couple years, and it just swings back and forth forever until people finally figure out the truth that the only real difference is a third choice.
Yeah, it's
Well,
called
were you guys told like forever that there's no reason to vote out of the two parties because
Yeah, it was a wasted
yeah,
vote.
well, people still do that. We still have to break people out of that. It's gone from like when I started voting, like I don't know, 3% third party to like 8 or something now or something. I don't know, but you need to get 30 to be actually competing. But yeah, everyone, yeah, it's a weird thing that when you're in a conversation, oh, and they bring that shit up, and then they're like, "What do you vote for?" And you're like, "I vote for this guy or this girl or third party," and then it's just like this weird like air in the it's like, oh great, like they're looking at you like you waste a vote, and you're looking at them like they're a bunch of sheep, and it's like, oh great, like we're all fucked. But
Exactly.
I think it's a big purple mess. I think more citizens need to look at what citizens need versus what they're doing.
Versus
But,
who the laws are being actually made for. Are they being
yeah.
made for the citizens, or are they being made for the corporations that are controlling the citizens?
Well, it was like this thing I shared earlier today. There's a study, and it was if 0% of the citizens don't want something to pass, or like yeah, 0% of the citizens don't want it to pass. 30% of the time it passes. And then if 100% of the time, if 100% of the citizens want it to pass, it passes 30% of the time. Like that's some shit ratios. Like that's not representation at all. But
Yeah, at least give us the 80-20 rule.
yeah, well, yeah, it's just crap. But so yeah, and then that's the thing, Becca. It's like I always toss up. Should I just not even fucking vote? Like because it's such a rigged like pass. What I call is a pass the post system. But then like I get fired up and I want to go vote. So like I vote on specific shit. But like oftentimes if I don't know who the fuck either person is or anything on like the local shit, I just skip it because I don't
It's
care.
much more.
Like I said, you're both gonna blast me in the ass and raise my taxes.
Yeah.
But so whatever. That's from It's Always Sunny. But
You can't like blindly vote.
yeah,
shouldn't blind.
Exactly. So it's like better than blindly. I'll just
Really
not vote on those people, but I go vote on like I can read the topics. Should weed be legal? Yes or no? Yes. Those ones I think matter a lot more
Yeah.
because they can't deny the stats that come out. So if like all the citizens vote bigger sidewalks and it's 80%, and they don't fucking make bigger sidewalks, they're gonna have a problem in my eyes. But oftentimes they get away with not doing that.
When I saw that as a state, we voted 60% in favor of Prop 1. And for those who don't know what Prop 1 is, and I'm specifically talking about the 2018 Michigan vote for Prop 1, which was our recreational marijuana laws.
I believe it was one of the biggest one-sided. What do you call it when you get it on the ballot? Whatever that's called, ballot initiative. The highest one-sided lopsided win ever, I think.
And not only did 60% of the state vote in favor, but township to township, you had some townships were varying with a majority of a no vote. Okay, there was no vote townships. But what we ended up seeing after it was all said and done and the townships got the rights to opt in or out of the cannabis was that even in the townships that voted in favor of Prop 1, our township included, was a 60% vote in favor of Prop 1. They opted out and made it a red zone and said, we don't care. We're for old individuals who are still stuck on old laws if we don't give a fuck. It was that point where I said,
they were advised to by an MCMA-backed initiative at the Chamber of Commerce that just went around with pre-written ordinances saying, look, guys, if you just opt out, that's at least that way means you at least don't have to make a decision. You can always opt in later. But opt out now. That way you don't have any issues. And so they ran around and told people that shit.
So what did our vote even count for? Nothing.
That's the thing.
State, I guess
that's when people had to show up to the meetings and nobody shows up to them.
This is what we do. We got a big
part
planet.
of the reason is the meetings are during the day when everybody's at fucking work.
Exactly. They're a bunch of
we got a big ass planet. Then we segregate it into countries. Then we segregate it into states here. Then we segregate it into like cities, then counties, then townships, so everyone can make their different rules. And I'm picturing in the future some genius is gonna have a little device in your car, and when you cross certain lines, it's gonna be like you just entered Lickshaw County. You better put away the weed and the alcohol because they don't like it here. And it'll be like you're exiting. Go ahead, you're good on this, but you can't have a gun. Or you can't have this because you just entered this town. It's just like I don't know. It seems like you need a book of like rules for every 30 miles.
What was that one guy that anti-cannabis lobbyist that was going township? Scott something, dude. He was all over the fucking place. He was talking about deadly cannabis. Now all the big cannabis businesses are going to take over the towns and all this crazy shit. People are going to be overdosing from high levels of THC. And he was something, man. He was going around spreading all kinds of misinformation. And the townships ate it up, dude. They gobbled that dude's info up. There's people like him going around talking about real deal things, and our politicians are listening to these people.
100%, dude. I think I said a long time ago when I first started on the show, I had to watch, I couldn't go to it, but when I was in Tallahassee, there was a Capitol meeting on I'm pretty sure it was medical marijuana. They were legalizing it down in Florida and voting on it. And they had some lady, and she had a Harvard degree, so they're listening to her, and she's like, I'm like, all right, what does she have to say? And she starts talking. She's clearly anti-cannabis. I'm like, oh boy. So that's triggering me already. And then she goes and she said something, and these are just random numbers, but it was as absurd as this. It was like smoking a joint of marijuana or cannabis has 7 times more carcinogens than a cigarette. She was telling the Florida people that cigarettes were more healthy than a joint. I was just like
information, not even.
I was just like, and they're gonna look at her resume and be like, oh yeah, she knows what she's talking about, so that must be true. They must blah blah blah. It's like no, dumb people get high degrees and Smart people don't get degrees sometimes. So it's just crazy who they listen to. But
Well, some people get degrees without even going to class. They don't even
well,
pay any
yeah,
attention. They just fucking get, they purchase all of their, you know, theses and everything that they have to fucking submit. They just fucking use their money, man.
Now with
fucking
AI,
asinine.
man, who even knows?
Oh yeah, now you got AI to write your
How can they
homework for you.
detect that, right? Like if
they
it
got.
says to write an essay, please write me an essay, and it
You
writes
want
a
you want to know how?
Probably a watermark of some
You
sort.
want to know how?
how?
The company that came out with AI now sells an AI detector for schools and shit
Yeah.
like that. So they're basically like, I think they plan that shit. It's like, well, it's like a subscription to AI almost. Like, yeah, buy our AI, and then
Yeah.
schools, you guys are gonna need a
I've already seen
AI
articles about the
defense.
AI detectors. I've already seen it.
Yep.
Okay, but you
Yeah.
don't have to copy and paste it. You could have them write it and then reword it.
Sure.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then there's probably nothing they can do because
That's still
it's
cheating.
all language that apparently it looks at and stuff like. Apparently, a computer will
Around
only
it. People
talk a
around it.
certain way in writing,
Doctors will
but
get around it. Lawyers will get
Because
around it.
there's plagiarism. There's already plagiarism tools and stuff that schools use
yeah.
Yep.
for like direct copy and pasting. So I'm sure it's something similar.
And I mean, you can get really good and really creative with the way you talk to the AI to get a better result that would probably be more difficult to detect and make it sound more like yourself. Like the more inputs, the more questions you add to it. Um,
I'm too
but,
nervous.
but at the same time, you're doing a lot of work. You just do the work. Either one, you're still doing the work in one way or another. If it takes
Yeah.
you a tool to get to the right answer, or you get to the right answer on a piece of paper yourself, does it matter? In the end,
Well,
I
like
don't
in
know.
like in Becca's scenario, where you're gonna have to take what the AI wrote and rewrite it in your own words. I think no, it doesn't matter because yeah, like there, you just did it in your own words. So you did all the work. You just had a kind of a baseline or something.
I
It's kind
did.
of like
You
it's
never
like
know.
telling a 5-year-old or something, read this Robin Hood book or whatever, and then write your own version.
I think
It's still their own version. There's going to be tons of differences and little knickknacks that kid decides to put in or not, stuff like that. So I guess, yeah.
I would still be afraid that without the creativity, there's a lot of implications and what innovation, where we'll be restricted with innovation in the future, with having other things do a lot of our hard work for us, and then we only have to learn how to copy and rewrite. I
But
mean,
Or
do you
that's
learn
believe
how
in
to
like
use the AI
do you
better.
believe in like horse labor then?
that's like a Neanderthal.
Horse.
Uh,
Like using a horse to plow fields and work on a farm?
what do you mean?
Would you ban that, not be okay with that? Like using AI and technology to make everything easier for us to do is
No,
just a
I don't
more
mind.
advanced version of using a horse to plow your
Uh,
field.
yeah, I could see that, but
I
I
think
mean,
that's the beginning of getting too big.
anything though, exactly. I think
If
that
you can't plow it with your hands,
if you leave it to the farmer to plow their field with a horse, then they're not going to be 500 hectare size farms destroying our earth. You know what I mean? So yeah, um,
well, how big would they be if only like you and your family had to hand plow it?
I mean,
It'd
it would
be even
keep the
smaller,
scale
but
small.
it's
It
still
would,
be able to feed your
it
family.
would maintain small scale.
Yes, without having to use a horse for something that really it wasn't made for. We can say that, but it was made for running in a field and shit. That's what they do.
And shitting. Yeah, that's the good stuff.
Well, everybody shit, everything's just. But yeah,
I still think without the ability to like perform or fail and have to reinnovate, like we reverse in mindset. We go back to Neanderthal like conditions.
yeah. Look at this guy. Look at this fucking fancy guy. Big city boy.
Look at this guy.
I wear my sunglasses at night.
What's up, guys?
What's
What's
Can you
up?
hear me
man?
fine?
Cheers for growing.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cool.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
Yep. Yep. What kind of phone you got? It's pretty nice camera.
It's the same camera I use with my other.
Oh,
Yeah,
Laptop.
it's the
nice.
Logitech Stream Cam. It's actually the
Yep.
exact
Yep.
camera I use.
I think we all have that.
That's why I got.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
I sent a bunch up here during the pandemic because everybody was buying them up, and I found a bunch. And it's really like it's really there's nothing better until you spend like stupid money, like
Yeah,
$1,000,
like
and it's like
yeah.
no.
See, now it comes
But
out the early days MBGS plug. We had a guy on the inside, Mr. Big Phone and Target.
working that Target plug. I looked up. I was at my store and like I'm fucking off. It's Target work. So I'm talking sequence and shit. I'm like, yeah, it's tough getting these cameras. There's none in my store. But then I was like, I got those devices, and it tells you other stores' inventory, so you can tell customers so they're not as pissy. And I was like, wait though, we got like 3 Targets in town. Let me check this other one. Boom. At the college one, there's it's a half a Target. Never seen it before. They just built it, and they had like 3 or 4, and I went in there and bought like 2 or 3 and mailed them up because I think Spartan his videos sucked, and I couldn't stand it. And then somebody else's was because then they're trying to show nugs, and it's like 8-bit pixels. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Let me send these guys something.
Well, what
But
kind of discount do you get for working for Target?
I'll probably only like 10% or some bullshit.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing crazy, but it was just the fact that I knew they had 4 and they wouldn't
Yeah.
all be on the floor. So I was able to go there and be like, yo, I know you have 3 or 4. I need 2 or 3 of them. Can you go grab them? And they're like, oh, yeah, we do. And I was like, yeah, you do, because I checked before I came here.
Is that why
But
never see you wear khakis anymore?
yeah, they were cool when I started. And you could wear jeans, and then they made you wear khakis only. I had hidden little secret. I wore a fucking Mephisto red shirt. I bought it specifically for Target. When we started, you could wear anything red, as long as it wasn't vulgar, obviously or something. But it could be anything on it. And I bought a Mephisto red shirt, and it had the pig, Mephisto pig, and that's it. And I got so many old ladies. I'd be high as a kite walking around working. So many old ladies would be like, I just love your little pig shirt. And shit like that. I'd die. And then they changed the rule, and I was a little pissy for a bit about it. I was like, this is horse shit. This is
Are you not
just horse
grandfathered
shit.
in?
Was the rule you had to be all straight red?
It was straight red. So then I got nitpicking. I'd be like, yo, look at that assistant manager wearing the lumberjack shit. You can't wear that anymore. That's horse shit. And like if you're going to not let me wear an all red shirt with a tiny
You mean a flannel? Is that the lumberjack shit?
flannel. Yeah, that shit.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how the girls would sneak it. They would wear flannel. I'd be like, this is horse shit. Because it specifically says you can't do that either. Target was trying to get away from all that for some reason, but
Well, I've heard they've got like one of the strongest anti-theft programs in the world, and that they even have a lab that the FBI works with them on.
I would believe it. Our security was pretty good. They would catch people all the time. And like I never got in the room, but I've seen it, and it's like shit tons of cameras and stuff, but they always had somebody on. If the store is open, there's somebody in that room, or that person's walking around.
Right.
And
People
they
walking
caught
around
people a lot.
constantly.
I was always
Yeah.
like, I was very surprised after a while. I was like, wow, like people try this shit all the time.
I love
'Cause you-
fucking with the secret shopper people. Oh,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
great.
yeah.
Oh, it's great. Like, just be real shady, but just don't touch anything. Look around, be super specific about some stuff, but don't touch anything in the store.
yeah.
Your fucking pockets the whole fucking time, dude. They'll just follow you around. Oh, it's fun.
Yeah. Then they changed the pretzels, and I was really done with them. They
That was the last
the
straw.
pretzels were semi on par with like Annie Ann's, but you're talking like $2.50, and it's at my work. and then they changed the formula or the cooking pattern. They got all fucking just not right. You don't make a pretzel like that. And
You were in there
so
telling the people making pretzels for a living how to make a pretzel. You're in there just telling them.
no, they
Do it
didn't like
wrong.
it either. No, the people. That's the thing. All the shit at Target is it's like pre-processed shit. So like they just have a recipe, put it in this
Oh,
oven
they're
thing
just
for
heating it
5
up.
minutes. So like yeah, they weren't happy about it either because customers were complaining. The pretzels were on point, and then you take them off point. What's the point of that?
I don't know.
Secret
It's a
tip
lot of
too.
points.
Secret tip. If you like Starbucks and you got one in a Target, you can get free refills while you're in there.
What?
Yeah,
Probably
so
just on
like
the coffee though, right?
I'm pretty sure anything.
Any-
I mean, there's no way I'm getting like a caramel ribbon crunch with an affogato shot, like
I
extra
think
caramel
so, bro.
Are we
drizzle.
still
Like,
Cause
talking
it's
English? What is going on?
I think so. Try it because it's like a sort of separate Starbucks and it's also not owned by Target and they do that. And now I've seen a couple of TikToks that say others do it. And ours used to. So
Oh
like
well,
you
if it
can
came
you
from
can
TikTok,
guzzle one down and then
come on,
make
it
your
came from TikTok.
rounds and then get one on the way out.
Gotta be
Apparently.
legit. It came from
You gotta
TikTok.
keep your
Sounds
cup
like we're gonna have a real healthy caffeinated
crowd.
12 shots of espresso
Yeah.
later.
Speaking of chat,
Up.
don't
There's
forget to
no one
switch
to
to live chat. Got it in the first half hour.
Oh, and you did it just in
Nice.
time because I see Let's Be Buds in chat. So
I
just wanna
well,
be
that's
clear.
kind of what triggered it earlier when we were talking. I was like, "Oh, let's be Buzz here. I better get the reminder out." But what's up, Let's be Buzz? Oh, so yeah. What did I do in the garden tonight? Oh, fucking, I sprayed tonight. IPM, so the lights are off. Turn them on before bed, after the show.
So when are those gonna go out for sex testing?
As soon as I get like $400.
Jesus, it's gotta be that much.
Yeah, she's giving me a huge discount, but it's still a lot because it's 40 something of them.
Yeah, but don't they need to like practice and stuff?
Yeah, yeah. I think she's got it down when she has a degree.
Yeah, probably.
But no, yeah. Shout out to Deep Roots Tissue Culture in Ann Arbor. They're gonna be sex testing my triple burger.
Nice.
I'm thinking not what's this week. I get paid next week, so probably next week I'll send them out or take them over. That's the cool thing. I can take them over and save literally half the journey.
Heck yeah.
So
That's awesome.
yeah,
And make it so fast, yeah.
yeah, but yeah, they're going. And once we get those sex tested and big enough to clone, at least one or two clones off each, we're gonna throw them in flour.
We'll go up on them into first, right?
You think so?
Yeah. Or what you think
What
you
are they
want
in
to
right
flower
now?
them in one?
I don't think we can fit. Well, oh, because we'll have half of them cut out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
I'll
yeah,
get
yeah.
3-gallon pots or something.
Yeah, we could
Yeah,
definitely do
something
3
free.
gals, 20, let's say 20 or 25. Yeah, we could definitely do that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've
because by the
already
time you get
noticed
those things in the
variation.
flour in 1 gallons, man, you're gonna be watering them like 4 times a day.
Yeah, they're already thirsty bitches. They're GMO back cross 3. So it's just,
Yeah.
oh my lord. And then I got a GMO mom and a Donnie mom. I don't know why I did that, but they're fucking huge and they drink so much. And so I'm watering the fuck out of them. But yeah, I've noticed already variation. I got a little tiny. Remember, Spartan, you came over. You're like, "That's Mac 1, isn't it?"
Yeah.
I got a triple burger in the back that looks kind of just like that too. It's
No
interesting,
shit.
even though there's no Mac, in triple burger.
Yeah.
But it's just when you have that much popped, you really see the variation, I think, and find maybe the secret hidden gems. We'll see. But
That's a
I'm
good
super
point.
stoked.
What is the most seeds everyone on this panel has popped of one specific strain at a time? And I can't imagine for me it's more than a pack, and I doubt a whole pack. So I doubt I've even done 10 or 12 at a time of the same strain. I might have done 60 seeds at a time, but there were probably, 8
Yeah.
different strains or something.
This one's
What
my
about you guys?
biggest.
I'm with you on about
60
saying.
something. I think it was
This one's my
67
biggest for
triple
sure.
burger.
Yes. 6 seeds for me has been the most.
honestly, like probably even less than 6. like
we
half
did
a
some
pack.
we did our outside CBD crosses this year. All of our stuff going outside, and we did like 12 of a couple strains.
I just lied completely this past year. I'm like off of like a breeder pack of seeds, like a half a pack. Off of our own
Right.
stock, yeah. I guess we've hunted, but we haven't like actually hunted those yet. So that's like the most we popped. We did pop them, yeah, but we haven't like hunted them.
What about you guys that have been involved in the commercial facilities? I imagine a lot of it was cloning, but did you guys ever pop any like crazy amount of seeds?
So
No.
go ahead,
Yeah.
Spartan. We
No,
we
not
pop.
really.
Like now we're constantly popping seeds, but it's like a pack of this, a pack of that,
Mm-hmm.
and see if you find a banger in that. So like we'll pop like 3 packs at a time, but it's 3 different packs. It's
How
never like a
often are you doing
mono.
that?
Like the biggest pack,
Perpetually.
the biggest run
Like,
was Chernobyl, probably. That was about the biggest one.
did we do? Oh yeah, we did Chernobyl, but we fucked it up, and so like,
Yeah.
the fucking seeds, like most of the seeds didn't even pop, so that I don't even count that one. And that's why I'm lucky to have the Chernobyl cut I have. I think it was 1 out of 2. We had 3 left, 3 that actually made it, and 2 were males. So we ended up with 1 female, and that's the one I have. Like, so yeah, but what did you ask for, girl? You had a good question.
It's the amount of seeds you popped of one strain at the same time, and if you guys have done that in the commercial facilities at any larger scale, because I know some like they almost grow entirely from seed because they're getting those stabilized genetics from these larger, we'll call them corporations or breeders, and they might be doing hundreds, if not thousands. I mean, I've seen some of these like greenhouse type facilities where it's got to be close to 10,000 seeds, all one node high, and it's insane.
Damn.
Yeah, but it's all the same genetic because they know that those seeds have been what's the word, like bred out enough, stabilized enough that they know they're getting pretty much the same thing almost every time.
Like corn or something, you mean?
Yeah, but they usually don't. They're usually not pheno hunting that. That's usually done by some corporation. So they're not usually,
it's just
so they're not poppy seeds to pheno hunt. They're just throwing seeds to grow and not have to have clones and mother plants and
correct. They're not bringing in genetics from elsewhere. Essentially,
like at work, we'll probably pop 2 to 3 packs every I'd say 2 to 3 weeks.
I think there's some CBD farms like
they're trying to jam in a little bit of packs every flower room. That's what we do in the front of like a table.
I like that. That's kind of
cool. We sacrifice a few plants and hunt something because if we find something cool, we own it. So
yeah,
that's the whole point, I think, that drives that. But I don't care. I'm just happy that we're actually popping stuff because a lot of places don't even fuck with that. A lot of places
not at all.
It's all money. Just grow good clones that homeboy from Cali told us to grow, and we still get clones and stuff. Don't get me wrong, we get the hype stuff, but that's the thing is like, even by the time it gets to Michigan, it's already all over Cali, Colorado, and stuff. So you really gotta find your own, I think. But yeah, I wish I could pop seeds every day. That'd be cool.
It's nice to have the strains, and I think that's what makes me a forever pheno hunter. And I'll give you a GMO. It's a perfect example. It's kind of found here in Michigan, and then it took the rest of the West to catch up. Instead of going the reverse, usually goes from the West this way. GMO is kind of found this way and kind of got popular going back towards the West.
Are there any other good examples of that, like East Coast sour diesel, maybe something like that?
Isn't GG4 from Michigan?
No, it's popular here, but I think he's from Vegas.
Oh, all right. I can't think of any.
Like that.
There's Ohio. There's some Ohio strains. Like Death Star. And was it bubblegum?
From the bubblegum itself.
Dude, we just did a dab of it's called Paw Paw, and it's bubblegum times unknown. But times modified banana. So there's 3 strains.
Ooh, modified banana is a I used to not like it, but then I looked it up and I was like, all right.
It was.
Now I'm interested. Let me pull it up.
No, it's not bad. I've had it. Modified banana's pretty good.
You
We
had
talked
the
about
stat.
that a week or two ago.
Banana OG to GMO.
Oh gosh, yeah, I remember that.
I
Of
remember
course
I
it's
even
GMO.
yeah. I even asked Skunk
want-
House and he's like, because I was like, I don't like bananas. What's up with this banana modified line? Like, which one out of the line is not gonna be bananas? And he did say it's not really been any banana flavors going on. It's just the banana OG, in it is why it was named that. So
Yeah, why name it
plus
after the
banana
fruit
OG is
profile?
Ghost OG times. Look at this, Sargamartha's 60/40 banana pheno. I'm gonna pull it up.
I hope it's not, because it's a sly reference to it tending to Hermes, so they call it the banana pheno.
I hope not. I'm gonna click this one. Doesn't say anything about this one. Unknown strain. Okay.
Can you look up modified grapes real quick for me? Because I think that
Yeah.
was mother, wasn't it?
Well, you cut out right there, bud. What?
I don't remember if it was Mother of Berry or I'm thinking of it, just getting them cross-referenced or whatever. But modified grapes, I know I grew it and it was just called something different.
Symbiotic. Nice. GMO times purple punch. Wow.
Ooh.
How did I miss this one?
Yeah, honestly.
What is this called?
There's got to be a
Modified
different
grape?
name.
I'll find
That
some of
is-
these.
Is
Yeah.
it grapey? Is it grapey?
Durban in it. Well, yeah, the GSC.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
It was definitely very berry. I don't know if I could nail it down to just grape, but it was very. I want to say that it was Mother of Berry was what we grew, and it was just called another name, but maybe it's totally different strain I'm thinking of.
Big check
Mother
horror seeds. They had them for a while.
horror. Oh, okay. Perfect. Modified grapes. I remember horror seeds. They're a weird name. Must be horror
You
fan.
can make it.
Yeah, I
You can
used to
make
be
it
one of
over
those
there.
companies that you said had to sell
Red?
to. Allegedly, you would.
Damn, they do have it. If you buy 2 packs, you get a third pack for free.
Ooh.
All right. So that's
How they get you.
But they only have one in stock, so you can't do it. But man, $120. Where was this on fucking 420?
Over there.
That's a bummer. I might snag that if nobody does. Someone in chat's gonna steal that now. They tried to steal Blisterine when I
What was
talked
this,
about it, but I managed to snag one.
I used to source my Colorado through them before. I figured you could just get them right.
Okay.
Source.
Nice.
And then I think I'd get archived through that. Yeah, I think before I found Speakeasy, I would source through horror. Or I
Speakeasy's
would only
good.
source through a couple, and then I started going through Seeds Here Now. Like once shit started getting a little more legal here, I was a little less concerned about using my credit card and things like that. I just
Yeah.
Seeds Here Now.
I like Caesar now. If they have something that's in stock, I'll buy from them. But they're like last on my list just because they upcharge and they don't include freebies. So they give you a guarantee, which is cool. But like most of the time, your breeder should be giving you the guarantee
Yeah.
on the seeds anyways. So I don't need your guarantee,
That's why I was like
James.
about going directly through breeders. So like when I finally went to Colorado, it was like, oh, I get like $20 off a pack, and he tosses me more freebies. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
it's really like a freebie for each pack you get. Like the dealer or the seed bank would give you like 1 pack for every 5 packs you get or something.
There's so many good places now. Like that's what I love about now. Like I don't even have to go seeds here or like Neptune. Neptune's a fucking Walmart of seeds.
Yeah,
Nothing wrong with them or anything, but they're just there. They never have they have sales, but it's just a huge seed bank. But there's literally 100 others, and they're all small. There's used to be called Himbra Genetics. That's 2 chicks. They started that out of like Maine. That they always had good deals. They're like Gas Lantern Seeds now or something. They changed their name. Then there's places like Great Lake Genetics up here in Michigan. There's another one somewhere in Michigan I can't think of. Oh, Seed Seller.
Seed seller. Yeah.
Yep, there's
That's
that
in
one.
Jackson.
Yeah, I've been there. That's where I got the pineapple upside down cake.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
But my favorite new thing is two things: Strainly and Discord. Strainly recently, I just got a $35 pack of Oh My Gosh Burger, and then I got a $45 pack of Death Breath from Surfer Seeds, which is GMO times grape cream cake. And that was an auction. They have auctions, and they just have they have a way where like if you see something on there, it's like a flea market kind of thing. Hit contact on the guy or girl and say, "Hey, I'll give you, $10 less than that or something," and they usually will do it. So like you can find some really good seed deals on Strainly these days. And then the
It's like the
Discord is kind of the same
before.
thing.
I feel like that's gonna be like that's like a super awesome place now, but it's like the more popular it gets, the more shitty it's gonna get because then
That's
it's gonna
how
get
it's gonna
mainstream.
work. Yeah. So I guess I
So
shouldn't
don't use
tell everyone.
Strainly. It's actually awful. You
Yeah,
guys
it's
won't
the
like it at
worst. You're
all.
you're probably gonna get scammed. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But no,
I
it
didn't get
is
my last
good.
order.
I'll tell our chat people because they're good people. So that's not too many people. Just don't tell your like family or anything like that, and then they'll tell everyone. But
This is a
Strainly, go
DL
on there.
situation.
They also have clones too, but it's one of those things like it's like eBay too though. You need to look at the seller. They should have a reputation. And you'll find oftentimes when you buy, they'll ask you, "Can you please, mark it as done or good so that I can build my rep?" Or, you have to have a certain amount of rep to sell on there too somehow. So you actually have to buy a few like 10 times. 10 times to get to
Completely.
be able to like sell. So you have 10 people that say, "Yeah, he purchased my seeds and paid," and so it's kind of cool
Interesting.
that way. But yeah, that's where I got the AJ Sour D. That's where I got the Blue Dream. I believe that's where my buddy who gave me the Motor Breath got it from. There's some good people on there. There's obviously bad people, but I mean, shit, that's the world. But I think there's more good people on there right now than there are bad. I
You
do
got
think exactly what Spartan said though. The bigger it
yeah.
gets, the more you gotta watch out on there and stuff. But for now,
Then
I
you got
just like,
pollen, which is cool.
yeah, they got pollen. Exactly. That's crazy. But yeah, today one of the guys I usually buy from seeds from, he messaged me back after I paid, and he was like, "By the way, I have a Discord with waffles on it. You know, waffles." That was a wink. But so I get on this Discord, and he's doing waffles for like packs, old packs that I wanted, like Dirty Taxi from Top Dog, GMO times.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm thinking about getting in on that.
We
$15
were just
a
talking about
spot.
that the other day. We want that bad.
Oh, let's pull in together and do
Okay.
this raffle
Okay.
on Discord because it's $15 a spot and he limits the spots. There's only 10 spots.
Okay.
So he's making it more than he probably paid for the pack a little bit. But even if you bought 3, 4, 5 spots, you're still making out on that pack because they don't make that pack and it's like $300 every time I see it.
What's
If
the
you
what's
see
the
it,
other side of that?
I think it's I-95. Dirty Taxi.
Oh, I've had that rosin. It's so damn good. Oh.
Yes, I've had that and the flour. Oh man.
We had
Dirty
it from
Taxi.
Diggity Dank did it, and that's who we had it from. That was
Giggity
really great.
dang. I like the
Yeah.
name. Yeah, it's Chem I-95. So Chem I, let me pull it up for the chat. Get a visual. GMO times ChemDog D, not 91, but D times I-95. I-95 is probably Triangle Kush, Legend OG times Stardog. So that's pretty nice background there. And then of course you got GMO, GMO. Say it with me, Spartan. GMO.
You're saying it enough, man. You got it.
You love GMO like I love
Yeah.
it.
So I'm trying. I might have to get that. But yeah.
Yeah, we were literally just talking about it the other day. I brought it up to her, and I was like, "Who was it? Who was it?" It was Diggity Dang.
Yeah,
And we researched it. And,
we went back to our pictures to look.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah.
Always gotta take pictures of the good stuff.
I like GMO too. I'm a big fan.
Oh gosh, I absolutely love it.
I like the GMO
Well,
high.
what's-
I'm not a fan of GMO terps. It's not
No,
that I hate GMO.
Bothers, yeah.
I love that
I like
a
the terps.
flower, like a flower that grows from the ground, can have like
I know it's
it's so
phenomenal.
different than the garlic plant. It's cool that the terpenes are.
Yeah, it is.
That's that excites me for more research. So they're like, oh, this is why GMO smells like that.
Yeah.
And by the way, that's connected to artichokes or what? I don't know, something weird. And that's the same thing out of that or something.
Probably alliums, probably like
Yeah.
Oh
like
yeah.
an onion or a
Man, you
garlic.
know, I cannot find any of them daffodils or marigolds farting. It's out of season
I
completely.
told you it's out of season. You're
Everything
not gonna find
says pre-order for fall. I'm like, that's horse shit. Give me some bulbs.
Still get 'em
I
in-
want to plant them.
They'll give you time to order in bulk though. Get a big order and you can probably get them cheap.
The moles are gonna be fucking ruining my yard by
Only
the
for
time
one more
fall.
year. Only for
I know,
one
yeah.
more year.
Well, yeah. So I looked it up, and marigolds and daffodils are anti-mole plants
Marigolds,
because of the roots.
marigolds are annuals.
Yes.
That's why he's
And
going
then
with
the
daffodils.
daffodils, I'm gonna try to get more daffodils because they were the perennials. Yep, I forgot about that. But yeah, so one of them produces, I believe, pyrethrin in the roots, and that's why the moles don't like it
Wow.
because it kills all the bugs,
That's the
kills
marigold.
grubs. And then
Marigold?
the other one just has stinky roots, so the moles don't like that smell. So it must be the daffodils on that then. But yeah,
Have you not tried trapping them yet?
Use high limonene.
like with the kill trap.
Yeah, like the scissors.
No, I didn't try. That's the only thing I didn't try because I feel like I have so many. What's it matter? I literally have so many.
What about the thing that just like sends spikes into the ground?
That's what
Well,
I'm.
that's
That's
so
what
you
I
just
was
walk
gonna
around
get.
in your backyard with a
I
shotgun.
did the
You can
poison.
see
I
it
did the
moving.
poison. Really? I've never seen them at all. I've captured one with a no-kill device, but I
Oh, that's
never
no fun.
fucking. Well, yeah, because then I was like, what do I do with it? And
He
I ended
doesn't-
up
Yeah,
taking
dude.
it.
Then you gotta kill it yourself, you know? It's
No, you fucking maniac! I just took it to the woods where it lives.
It's gonna come right back.
It's gonna come back, bro.
It's gonna come back to my house from the woods.
How
I
far are the
doubt
woods?
it. Huh?
How far are the woods?
I walked probably a good 400 feet off my property.
Oh
And
yeah.
you don't think a mole's gonna go
Oh
that
yeah.
far, dude?
Oh yeah. He's coming
Dude,
Why
back.
a
would you do
raccoon
that? It's
will
got
come
the
2.5
woods.
miles back.
No,
It's
you
not
got all
coming
them
from my
grubs
right
trash.
back,
It's
bro.
not coming from my trash. This
Yeah,
isn't a
dude.
raccoon.
Oh, dude.
This
you-
isn't. I don't think moles do that.
You smell his little hole.
The moles are
400
usually after
feet?
grubs.
Are you
They
kidding
usually
me?
go after grubs.
400 feet might be a little less. It's probably good. I don't know. Eighth
Dude,
of
I
a mile.
guarantee
What's the
that
eighth
mole's
of a
coming back
mile?
in a week.
Well, that was years. That was like a year ago. I gave up on the trapping them and releasing them. That would have taken so many traps and so much time.
And then
You
he
had to
moved. Then he moved on to luring cats. Luring cats.
I tried to
hang
lure
out.
the cats, but they're all fucking whores.
Hey,
And
just
they
so
go to
you know,
people's houses now to get food instead of come work in my yard and get treats.
baked,
Because I have
baked
treats.
so you a mole digs 18 feet an hour for a total of 150 feet a day. It's gonna take him 2.5 days to get back to your house.
Why would he straight line it to my house when he's got all the bugs of the forest?
Are they just underground? They come above ground.
They only come above ground very rarely at night, in the middle of the night. That's why I'm also, my
why you
new
got those
tactic,
holes.
I want to attract more owls. And I'm going to get an owl pole and stick it in the middle
like
of
that.
the mole area. And apparently at night, that son of a bitch is going to get those moles. And that's nature. So I didn't even kill him. That's just nature.
Bring on the owls.
Loophole.
Way to use nature for your.
I already have an owl. I just have to.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind it is, and you
It's
have
a
to get
barn owl.
specific. What does that mean?
Barn
I
owl,
don't
I
think
just
that's a
said.
species though. There's
It
like
is. Look
screech
it up.
owl.
Google that shit up before you say it's not a thing,
It says
man.
it's about
Yeah,
art.
man. You have a barn owl, dude? You from Florida or something?
The barn owl is the most widely distributed species of owl in the world.
Most widely, crazy.
Yeah, that's nuts. I wouldn't think you would just name a barn owl. Like, what if barns never exist anymore after the apocalypse? What kind of owl is that?
We can worry about it then. We don't worry about what ifs. Let's
It's a
just worry
tree
about
owl.
what
Oh,
is.
it's a tree owl.
Let's
I don't
worry
think
about
there's
what
going to be
is.
anyone
I
around
reject
to
that
name
name.
them.
I reject
I
that
don't
name.
think
I'm
we're
gonna
going
go
to be worried
find a
about
Latin name.
species names once we're all
Oh,
dead. You know.
I prefer this. Tyto alba. Yes, I have
Oh,
a
get out of
Tyto
here with your
alba hanging
Latin
out.
bullshit.
So of the
I'm looking at,
order
this is why I quit biology.
Trigiformis
Barns are a very
Titanota.
modern thing.
That's
Owls are not
crazy.
modern.
But so that's
Yeah.
my next tactic. I tried poison though. I will tell you that I tried the poison things. Nothing. I don't think
Nah.
they ate it.
You're
So
just
that was a
risking
waste of
damage at
money.
that
We have
point.
Did you try to
owls.
poison
They
the
have those like
grubs?
sound things too, but dude, the traps work really well. I'll get a mole a day with a trap, bro. You just gotta
Maybe
look
I'll
for
buy
the
a couple of
fresh.
those until I get
Yeah, they're
the plants. But Spartan, I tried. What'd you say?
To kill the grubs, because that's what they're going after.
Yeah,
That's
the
what
problem
they-
with killing your grubs is then what do you use? Because the
Nematodes.
only
nematodes.
I
Yeah,
guess I
man.
could use it because I was gonna say
Yeah,
the only
and
store
that's
thing
cheap.
is Spectricide, and that fucks bees up and shit. So it's
Yeah,
like you don't
no,
want to use that for your yard at all.
250 million nematodes for like $150 or something like that. That'll take hers. You know what I mean?
How many acres?
I don't quote me on it, but it's multiple acres.
Oh, okay. Because I only have probably maybe I don't know 0.75 an acre of grass.
You could also
Oh yeah, so
you could also
get
get chickens.
50 million and do it like every 2 weeks for like a month or two.
Yeah, maybe I'll do that. That sounds like
It'll
a
help
cool
anyway.
idea. I got the sprayer. I got backpack sprayers for that. Yeah. Maybe we'll do that. But yeah, I mean, it's just a pain in the ass. I mean, I don't mind them other than like Sequence used to be like, oh, you're gonna break your ankle. Like I know how to walk and my feet are big, so they're not. I'm not doing that. That's not happening. The problem is when I ride my mower,
Yeah.
it's gonna fuck up my mower more than anything. Like, cause mowers don't have suspension. I'm like, how does this thing not have suspension? Like,
Well, you have to get the upgraded chair. They have like the chairs with suspension, but they're
His feet has.
well, I don't. I'm not worried about.
500.
I'm not worried about me. It's more like you shouldn't have metal on metal
Yeah.
bumping. That's just not. That's why we have springs and struts and leaf springs.
Well, they're
and stuff
supposed
like
to
that.
be balanced,
They fall apart. They fall
take out
apart
a
real easy.
rock
and
or a.
you have to fucking work on them. That's
Is
why.
that well? Then you gotta take them back and buy a new one. Yeah.
The farmers fucking fix those fuckers out in the field, dude. You got to go to fucking
Yeah.
hardware supply store. That's why they sell tractor parts at all the fucking hardware stores.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
I despise moles. So because of it, I feel like a farmer in that way. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Get off my lawn!
Side of the road,
Yeah. Like, who invited you? I didn't. But then the problem too I was thinking about is I've been catching rabbits in the morning in the yard, and I think they've been eating all my good little seedling flowers. So if I get flowers, are they just gonna eat them? It's like everything's a piece of pain in my ass. You know?
They won't
Hey.
eat.
It's
yours.
crazy growing outdoors, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hey, you still got that airsoft gun, right?
I do, and it does need to get used, and it's got a good enough range to hit anywhere in my yard and not kill anything, but let it know, don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah. So that signal.
They don't
Andy.
learn that quickly, dude. They're not humans. They're
You
gonna
know how
come back.
you know how cheap airsoft BBs are? I have
Yeah, dude.
5,000. I have 5,000.
Yeah, you know
That's
how many
5,000.
times I've shot the squirrels in my backyard? They're gonna keep coming back. You
Do
gotta
you
take
know
a
the
shot.
You're
satisfaction?
shooting them with a real gun, so you're getting new squirrels that aren't learning. My rabbits are learning from getting a little tink.
You
know?
didn't hang the rabbits up though. You gotta. That's how you teach the new
Oh
rabbits.
Lord!
Plus, you're not
Oh
figuring.
Lord! Spartan comes over and I got fucking like Lord of the Flies rabbit sticks going on. No way!
I'll take them out, man. I'll take out the fucking rabbits for you, man.
I believe that. I come over Spartan in the middle of the night has like like what is it Rambo
Face
and
down.
Arnold Schwarzenegger where they have the camo. Yeah, I can see that. I tell you what I do have you could use Spartan.
Uh oh.
This son of a bitch.
Oh I like that.
Yeah, I got a mini crossbow with broadheads,
amazing.
Art gun.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
Holy
that's
shit,
sweet.
dude.
You got
but
Yeah,
broadheads
it's
you don't
too.
need anything.
That thing is cool
What are we
as
talking
fuck.
about airsoft gun
That's
for?
a nice home
Yeah.
protection little.
I
art
forget
Is
how to
that-
load it.
Is that rubber bands on the side?
Keep
Oh,
that
I heard-
thing in your
No,
door.
no. But it's a quick load. So you go like this.
Oh, okay. I like it. I
Oh,
like
I'm
it.
ready.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Nice.
yes.
Cool. You don't,
I
have,
Predator!
want.
you don't have to like put your foot down on
It's
it.
got a safety too.
Yeah.
So that's
I
pretty
want
cool.
because it's a
Dude,
mini.
I want to see more rabbits behind
Oh,
you by
that is
Sunday,
cool.
all right?
Oh
I want
Lord.
to see a wall full of
Tack it up
rabbits.
on the wall.
Just take
You-
because it's a mini. Get like a little M80 and strap it to a bolt, and then.
Oh,
that
I've
will
got
go.
those. You know I've got those little things
Exploding
because-
arrows.
for the neighbors in case they throw another party. I'm
I
gonna wake 'em
remember
up
that.
7 o'clock in the morning. You better get up. 'Cause
We
I'm
went from
waking you up.
having
Later, you're not
rabbit
trying
like
anything here.
chicken wings to
home.
rabbit stew because of the M80.
Yeah.
We do not
What?
advise trying anything that you hear at home.
Yeah. This is not about. This is for me only.
You should get some cats. Just get some cats.
Well, that's what I've been trying to
You
do,
try-
Becca. But they keep whoring themselves out to the other neighbors.
Like
I'm telling you.
you purchased cats.
No. I just
Okay.
coaxed a couple
No.
that were hanging
Yeah.
around,
No,
and I
he
started
has.
feeding them every day. And then all of a sudden, I guess somebody had better food, like Fancy Feast or
Make
something.
some cats love you by adopting them.
No, he's
Well,
actually. He's even built them homes back
I
then. I'm not
have a
kidding you.
cat house right
He's
out
even
front.
built homes with little
I worry
home.
about the homeless ones up here. I don't understand how they survive outside. It's so cold. They
People
should
building
migrate.
little houses. That's how.
Well, yeah, it's nice.
So he's
'cause I
trying to
use-
lure them. He's the creepy guy trying to lure in cats in
Not
his house, like
creepy.
literally.
It's not creepy. I'm helping the planet.
Go adopt
Okay.
one. Like I said, just go adopt one.
Here's the thing, Nut Tree. Where's my dog? Okay, he can't hear me. I've had him for a while.
Outside then.
I've had him for a while, and I kind of want to break from a pet for a while. So
Cats are so much easier than dogs, dude.
but there's
Yeah, but
still
he only wants to
something.
commit to the.
There's
He only wants to
something.
commit to the. Once in a while, having to feed it, let it take care of itself out in the wild, outdoor cat. That's what he's
That,
willing
to
to
me,
commit
Spartan, you just described a strong cat. That's
to.
a
I
cat
agree.
that aspires to be a tiger.
You can do
That's
that, but
what I
you have
want.
to help them learn how to do it. You got to train them, and it's
I-
short. Just get a kitten, love them, and then teach them outside.
Get on
I'm gonna-
nimbly
Becca,
bend.
I'm gonna show up at the humane sign. I'd like your most fierce kitten. I need it to kill things in my yard, please.
Don't tell
Here's
them
the
that.
money.
They won't.
And then you know it's just gonna
Here's the money. I have
God,
treats.
not be a
Don't
kid.
tell them that.
Okay.
I'm with you, Baked. We're gonna go
I want
at
cats.
least a couple of months without any animals.
See, yeah, Red's. We have the
not
same
true.
age dog and everything, and like I love him and everything, but like I'd love to be able to visit my parents more and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's just
Yeah.
like my
That's
dog's
what I-
kind of like yours, Red, where like he's not nice to everyone else, or I mean
Yeah.
every other dog. So I can't just board him with safe. I'd worry about that, and then like I have shout out to Nurse Geek. Her dogs know him luckily and get along because they're little tiny fuckers. But she'll let me drop him off there, but that's 2 hours in the opposite direction of the airport. So it's just a pain. So it's like, I think I'm gonna, have a little break, just a year or something, and then I want to adopt a gang. I want a gang of like little dogs and cats that get along. And then if I ever get a fence, it's gonna be a zoo around here. We're talking like alpaca because I want the poop too, but I think they're really
Yeah.
nice.
Get some rabbits
All
too.
kinds
I
of
know.
things. I would get German rabbits. Have
Yeah.
you seen giant German rabbits?
Those things are fucking huge.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'd love a gang of those to hang out with the dogs.
Dang.
Those things are
Yeah.
huge.
Baked, I feel like you're a perfect parrot person. For some
I
reason.
haven't committed to a bird because
That's
I
a
don't want to
long-
commit to something like that
That's a
yet.
long term.
That might be a
27
retirement.
years.
Yeah, exactly. But
Still.
But also they scare me a little because if you actually talk to a bird owner, very rarely do you hear one that like the bird never attacks them. The birds kind of like have this tendency is just like every once in a while fuck up their owner. And that's what I've heard from Reddit, from multiple bird owners when I was looking into bird owning, and that combined with the lifespan, I was just like, I'll hold out for now. Yeah.
Long
Yeah, I
lifespan.
feel you.
A bearded
Yes.
dragon is nice. Bearded dragon is nice. You just need a timer for the lights, and they
Yep.
can go a while without eating.
I've had them a while ago when I was younger and stuff, but I was like kind of selling them and trading them and trying to breed them. I
Their heat
never
lamps could
bred them, but
potentially cause electrical issues if
Yeah,
they.
we actually did have a heat lamp like spark. And
yeah, you gotta get good
Like
brands
fried
and
out
stuff.
half of the line that the breaker's on, except the room that it was plugged into. It fried out the basement somehow, so half the basement doesn't work.
Oh shit! Like still?
Yeah,
we
still.
don't know if it's
Oh man.
It's
Yeah,
gotta be
probably.
weird.
You think it just fried the breaker?
I no, the breaker works up here. The breaker that it was on still like that
Oh.
line still works. The cage that the bearded dragon is in is still fine, and that whole room is on, and the light outside for whatever reason the garage and like half of the downstairs is on that same line as the bedrooms up here, and half the line is out. So I don't know how that works. There must be it must be like shook. Maybe there's a fucking shockwave.
We have outlets that work
wire.
out,
I don't fucking know.
but no breakers are flipped.
Yeah, it's
And
weird.
so we have to get an electrician to check that shit.
That's
But
probably what we got
It
going on too.
It would have
I
had
ha-
fire.
I had that issue recently with not one, two, but three different breakers of mine.
What the fuck?
And
yeah.
the reason was it was a kind of a slow burn thing in which when I had that generator installed, they reworked my entire panel. And when they did that, a couple of that were supposed to be tightly screwed in came loose. And that
Oh,
caused
hold on. Go back. You cut out a couple of the what?
a couple of the grounds. So there's three wires
Yep.
typically that go in positive, negative ground. A couple of the grounds had slipped loose.
Okay.
And that what that meant getting power to the line, but the outlet itself wasn't functioning right. And this happened on, like I said, multiple different breaker lines, and it was the same thing every time. I think one of them, the three, was actually because it was like I literally did that when I moved something myself, and then that's kind of what led to us finding out that was a common problem. And I know that the other
Okay.
two weren't my fault. But yeah, so you might just need to check the wiring at the where the breaker lines are, or the lines are attached into the
That's a good idea.
panel. But yeah, just I mean, guys, like a electrical testing set, like a one that you can hold to a line that tells you there's current going through it, one that you can plug into an outlet, and then the one with like the little nodes or whatever. Like it's a huge piece of equipment to have. Even to do the
Will that
electrical
work if there's
itself, you can troubleshoot.
Will it still work if there's like a separation in the line though? Like the breaker's on, the line's out, and there's a separation somewhere because it's in series. Can will it still alert that it's that it is the line that it's supposed to be on? Because we don't know what line that's actually on to ensure
Well,
that the breaker is
yeah.
supposed to be, and there's a break, break somewhere.
Well, I mean, this is where the electrical testing set comes in, like in just kind of those lines. And if you don't know what's all connected to it, it's really hard to troubleshoot for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it could be something, and I don't know your specific situation, but I've also come across issues where GFIs have died. And if a GFI,
That's
like,
what at work we have GFIs that are dead. That's the crazy part.
that will kill, like in your kitchen, your bathroom, something like that. That will kill everything after it if the GFI dies. So that's a real common issue, but I don't imagine that's your specific problem.
I wonder
Yeah.
if that's at the end of the line, in like, or in the middle.
The bathroom's not attached to it. The only GFIs we have are near water, and those.
Nap time. Has time.
We don't have any.
Yeah, I'll be right back because I'm totally not doing dabs in the hotel room.
But so I guess real quick, Becca, I want to swing it back to the reptiles.
Yeah.
because yeah, they definitely take a lot of electricity. But I used to have crested geckos.
Mm,
Those were pretty fun.
they're so cute.
Leopard geckos, because anything nice. I didn't fuck with mean stuff.
Yeah.
I accidentally got a Tannenbar blue tongue skink once, which is a specific type of blue tongue skink, and it's the only type that's aggressive from some stupid island named Tannenbar.
Yeah.
And that was scary because that thing was pretty big and it hissed. But I ended up selling that because it was mean. Um, but I had some bearded dragons. And yeah, oh, I want to show it. Did you see the lychee anus I posted?
I don't know. Yeah.
It's this.
I did
This
see
is
Oh,
the
it.
largest gecko species in the world. It's called lychee anus. I can't
yeah.
get it to play.
Lychee what?
Did you
Lychee
say anus?
anus.
Anus like a lychee anus?
Like a
Like a leech and then anus.
Gosh, that's so.
And
yeah.
they're really, really old too. They're really related to dinosaurs. You can see it in the face.
Yeah,
But they're
totally.
super expensive. They also live a while though. So that's why they're expensive and they live a while. So I haven't got one of those, but I will one day.
That's cool. It would be really cool to get more, but you have to have separate cages and like
Yep.
I want to give mine more space, like
Yeah.
it has 120 gallons, like perfectly big enough. And
Yeah.
yeah, I'm working on. I have the recipe that I'm going to use to make her like a bioactive terrarium aquarium thing, but
Yeah.
I just haven't. It's going to take a bit, so I'm just trying.
Yeah. It's just like growing and stuff. It's work. Like
Well, because you do end up growing in there, right? Like plants and stuff.
exactly. Well, that the crested gecko setups, those terrariums, they have the windows. They're real nice, but they're small. They're like 2 foot tall, but they're
Yeah.
tall. That's what you usually use for the crested geckos. And yeah, that was part of the fun though, was I ordered all these live plants from the jungle basically, and
Yeah.
this one's for that. You need to plant this one over here. There needs to be a certain moisture in the soil.
Mhm.
And then I started bringing in bugs to clean the soil, like isopods and stuff, because I didn't want to clean up the poop as much. And yeah, that was pretty neat. Like just what is it called? It's in reef tanking it's called aquascaping. In terrariums it's a different term. But yeah.
Bioactive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was a really neat part.
I'm
You gotta do
excited.
that shit really well for like chameleons. I never had them, but like you really gotta make it nice because they get stressed. So you gotta make it like real realistic.
I think you're right. It's just terrariumscape. Is it just
Terrariumscape, yeah.
terrariumscape? It wouldn't be landscaping.
No,
It would be
but it's
I
fun.
got
It's really fun.
I got the liner for my aquarium, and so should do it. I know like isopods and springtails probably,
Yeah,
and
that's what I had.
and then
you should get
what
springtails
I
in the
saw was
compost.
like just a little bit of compost, just a little bit, a little bit of cocoa and mostly sand,
Yeah,
so then like sandy things. I've got so many succulents. I already have plants in her cage, but um like to actually have them growing in a soil would be way cooler.
yeah,
I forget who it was, but they were having a problem with isopods. There was like in their living beds for their cannabis, like they had an isopod outbreak. Like it was crazy.
oh,
But Joe, the bearded dragon, will eat them.
A bearded dragon or a lizard of some sort would be a great remediation for
Or chicken if
I'm
you're
gonna bring
outside.
a
if
bearded dragon
if you have
morphs.
chicken.
while
Yeah,
we're
yeah,
talking.
the chicken inside, totally.
They'd get too used to that.
Look at all these crazy morphs. You got yellow ones these days.
What is
Look at
Half,
the picture. Look at the picture
half
with him on his
albino.
hand. How long do you
These
think it took him to
guys,
do that?
not
No,
long, dude.
no, the other one, the one hand, where it's one on each
Oh,
finger.
this one, the babies.
Yeah.
Not long. They'll grab like that.
They're so cute when they're babies.
Yeah, these things generally will not bite. Like as long as they're not hungry as sin, they're really docile and they're one of those their response to fear and stuff is to chill. That's why you can get most of them to chill. But
Yeah,
like this guy looking at him, he knows where he gets food.
they're.
So he's just waiting. He's like, "Are you gonna feed us? Is that why you're picking us up?" Yeah. But
It
there's
was
some
cool.
really cool ones. Like this is probably a little altered, but they can get kind of bluish purple.
Yeah. Mine is
Um,
pretty like tan. She gets orangey yellow.
I had one like that.
That's cool.
Yeah, but I bought him. He had a missing toe right there. He had a missing toe, so he was $90 instead of like 500. And
Wow.
and I was like, does can he still walk and live? And they're like, yeah. I was like, I'll take that one. But he was a really good one, and I had to give him away before I moved.
It's crazy how they're just covered in spikes.
But
But
there's
that's cartilage,
All
They're
those
so it's
solid.
like,
Yeah.
so it's like it's not even. It's actually not even hard.
Yeah, they're not hard. When I got to pet Joe, and
It's
that
like
was really
ears.
cool. Yeah, it's
Let's
Yeah,
see.
yeah,
I'll
like
show you the
those
crested
spiky ears.
geckos.
when they do get stressed out or like in that attack mode, they'll kind of like puff out they'll
Oh
harden
yeah, I'll show you that.
a bit. Like
Here's
they are designed to keep people away.
Like
you
puffers,
see that? Yeah,
like puffer fish.
they'll do that and it'll blacken up. That's a mad beardy. That's what they say. Angry beardy.
Mad.
This guy's acting tough.
Yeah.
You don't know how tough.
he's just fronting.
He's looking for a hornworm.
By the way, if you have tomatoes, you might get yourself some food for your bearded dragons, dude. They sell hornworms
You're
are like
not sup-
$5 a piece.
Oh wait. I think tomatoes are bad for him.
No, you're just not supposed to feed them from bugs outside because you don't know if they've had pesticides or
Oh, that's it.
poisons. But
Yeah, he's saying the
And
hornworms.
hornworms
gotta-
hang out on tomato plants.
we've got a safe yard, so they might be okay from here.
Unless hornworms are what are they? What's the butterfly in monarch butterfly? That's not a hornworm, right?
No.
That's not the same, right?
No, but they look a lot alike except for the color.
6 foods to avoid: lettuce,
Spinach.
fireflies, avocados, rhubarbs, beet tops, and spinach.
And
Huh.
yeah, there's just a couple things that there's some that they're not supposed to eat. Lettuce is okay, but it's just mostly water. So that,
Yeah, and you don't want to fuck up their water
Are
whole
these
system.
pesticide cautions, or is there something in the actual plant tissue that is toxic?
yeah.
No, it's the shit in the plant. So like, for instance, spinach binds up their here it is. Spinach binds up contains calcium binding chemical which can lead to metabolic bone disease.
Interesting.
So yeah, it's there's weird stuff like I don't know if you guys do it, but like I remember you dust your crickets in like a calcium powder or something. There's a nutrient powder.
Yeah.
It's like adding oyster shells to your. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just or adding CalMag to your plants. It's like targeting specific nutrients for them.
Yeah.
It's interesting to dust them though.
But like
Like
rhubarb
shaking
is
up your
just straight
crickets.
up toxic to bearded dragons. So
Just something that's in it that it grows in. Yeah, I should be better about dusting her food. I gotta have calcium and like a multivitamin type
okay,
thing.
yeah. I remember you just had like unless you had there's certain reason you had to do it, is like because the lighting isn't as good as the sun.
The UVA, you need UVA and B. Like you need both.
Yeah, and that's expensive or so. I didn't have it, so I definitely
It's just
dusted. But I remember I found it wasn't a local, but like we would go to reptile shows if you know those, and it was just like a cannabis event. But I found somebody who made their own powder or dusting, and that was nice.
That's super cool. I would way rather do something like that.
You can look up the recipe. I believe somewhere on a forum there was one
Okay.
floating around back then.
If it's
But yeah,
calcium,
like
could use my
that's
chicken eggs.
it's that you guys. That's what I'm thinking. You guys probably have everything you need to just make a dried up powder. You just have to crush some things up.
I'm worried about Joe right now because hasn't been out for. I'm sure she's okay and just sleeping, but it's been like maybe a week, maybe more, and
Yeah.
she's just sleeping.
Yeah, it can get a little nerve wracking, but yeah, it's probably fine.
She's on her cold side too, which is weird, but
Yeah.
she'll be okay. She likes to sleep.
Have you give her baths?
Yeah.
for the shedding
if
and
she's
stuff.
active and like up and moving, I don't love to wake her up because it can be her brumating and
Yeah.
eating. So
Yeah. Mine was always out, usually
I
on the
like
rock.
touched her. I touched her today just to be sure that she was still alive. Honestly,
Yeah.
she flinched and moved. She's fine. She like sticks her head out and everything's right.
Yeah.
She's just doing her sleep.
Nice. Yeah, you can make a pretty cool cage for them too, like a custom one, so
Yeah.
that you can do more square footage instead of vertical.
I've seen a lot of shelves where like the basking light then is, up. That's their that, and then they can go underneath.
Yeah, I had a couple, like one or two shelves up to a hammock. They had those hammocks you can like suction cup. That was pretty cool.
They always fall off now that Joe's like she's pretty big and she's
Oh yeah.
always falling. Yeah,
Yeah.
she does like it. She used to be so cute when she was small. She would like just lounge on it, so funny and
Have you gotten her to wave? They'll wave at you too.
she's super friendly. I actually saved her life
That
when
was a
she
really
was
good impression, Meg.
This is how they do it. They do it just like this. It's a rotation.
I saved Joe's life when she
It's
was
slow too.
a fresh baby. Yeah, she doesn't do it
It's all
often.
way back at them like this. This is what humans can do. I forget why they do that though. My fun thing was getting all the treats for them. Like I'd order hornworms or there's some other, roaches and stuff. And man, they would love those gushy little gushers. They just smack right into a hornworm.
Oh yeah, they're so big. Oh my god,
Yep.
compared to them, and then it's like bloodbath.
Yep. And then I was trying to get into because when I had the cresteds, I was breeding the isopods because they had colored isopods like orange and purple, and then I didn't have to buy them. But I wanted to get into. You can breed your own hornworms pretty easy too,
Yeah,
and then you just have treats. But that's the thing, they're treats. They're not a staple diet.
yeah. I mostly
People,
do mealworms. I really like
yeah,
the dubia roaches.
yep. I
Uh,
had a box of those going.
I did too. I had like a little shoebox size
I
plastic.
preferred them over the crickets
Me too.
because you can use those roaches in place of a staple
Yeah,
diet. So like, yeah.
crickets were such a pain in the butt, man.
They're pain. They're loud. They're stinky, and they jump.
And
When
they
you try to get them, and they're all over the place. Whereas these roaches, these aren't your Florida roaches, people. They look like a damn a big isopod, and they don't fly. They don't move that fast, and it's much easier. Dubia roaches.
yeah,
I support them.
they can't climb up walls, so I
Oh
just
yeah, they can't. Yeah.
yeah. So it was so
They're
nice.
they're pretty as far as insects go, they're a pretty pathetic insect. But they're great for feeding reptiles like bearded dragons. I think you can get them small enough for leopard geckos, depending on how big you got.
Yep.
I remember I brought out just like cannabis, you need a scale for reptiles because you gotta know how big those suckers are. Oftentimes, the bigger a leopard gecko was, the more money it costs. Big old fat tail they used to call them. But
Yeah, when I like first started having to get bugs and stuff for Joe, I lived at my mom's and she is not into bugs at all. So I like had to have them in my bathroom and away from anywhere she was by. And so, you have to like clean out if you're keeping bugs for a long time, you got to clean out that too. And so then I'm like, I never liked bugs, man. I always was one of those people not liking bugs. And now I'm like elbow deep in a tub of roaches. Are you kidding me? It was so not. Now it's like whatever. Bugs are cool.
Mrs. Fergoli still hasn't gotten used to the deliveries of 1,000 rove beetles and 25,000 predator mites and 50 million nematodes. She's just like, get it out. It's not going in our fridge, dude.
Yeah, I would get
Damn, I forgot about rove beetles.
They're expensive, but I've used them I think 3 times now, and I mean I've seen a massive, in addition to the other two things, I've seen a massive reduction in any sort of fungus gnats, so that's cool.
Well, knock on wood, like I was telling Spartan the other day, we don't have a single fungus gnat in that damn veg out there. I got
Yeah.
sticky traps everywhere. I'm waiting for them, but I use Charcoal Cocoa. I use Q plugs for plugs, clone plugs. I'm trying to think of anything else that might actually inhabit. So like I think certain mediums and certain things bring them in, as well
Dude,
as like
I've never had an issue in cocoa with fungus gnats ever, unless I was feeding with some molasses product, because that'll just
okay,
attract the shit out of them. Now in soil, it's a different thing because I swear they come in with the soil, and that sucks if
Why do you
that's
here
keep
the
bringing
here's
case.
this?
the thing. Here's the thing though. I
Why
don't.
keep bringing in the soil then?
I think it comes in on shit like that because I use Canna. I've used Jax at the house, and I've had Gnats. But also at work we use Athena with cleanse, which the acid should be killing everything, and we still get gnats at work. So I don't
And
I mean
out
there's
of
a ton of variables, but
the thing about gnats is, out of all of the pests that love this plant, fungus gnats is the least of my worries. Pretty much, some sticky traps, some good air movement, like maybe a couple rounds of nematodes. Like there, it doesn't take much to really get rid of them, or at least massively reduce them. And that being said, they ultimately don't have a major impact on them with a, I would assume with a large infestation. I guess I've never really gotten to that point. Um, but I've really seen no difference in the plant health with them when they do
yeah,
come around. That being said, a lot of times us as growers focus on taking care of what we see in terms of pests. So if it's spider mites, right, like that's something terrifying. Like we're gonna go after it pretty hard, or maybe throw some plants out or whatever. If it's aphids, it's a similar thing. With fungus gnats, you see them flying around. You see them on your sticky traps. You see them where the fans have blasted them or something like that. But the adult lifespan of them is kind of, it's not a big deal. It doesn't last very long, and it's the ones in the roots that really got to focus on. So things like air movement and sticky traps, that really only helps with the adults. And so it's really things like rove beetles, nematodes, predator mites. Those are the things you really want to employ when it comes to fungus gnats, because you want to take care of the eggs and the problem that's in your soil. And the other things like sticky traps, like that's more of a preventative and really more just an indicator, in my opinion, that you have them. Um, that's
the
not to
thing
prevent the
about
problem.
it is like let's say you don't worry about them or you have sticky traps up. Um, it's very hard to tell the difference between a fungus gnat and a sticky trap and a thrip, an adult thrip. They look
Root
super
aphids,
similar.
root
And
aphids and
roof
flies
aphid,
not look
same
really
thing.
close.
The
Root
adult root
aphids, yeah.
aphid flies around. They all look the same. So like
You have to get it under a microscope to tell the difference. And
yeah, but I mean,
yeah,
but like you just said, everything you mentioned takes care of most of all those other things too, because they all plant
mhm,
their eggs in the soil and
yep.
go up the plant and then fly. So yeah, um,
It's just a good preventative treatment.
yeah,
Thrips show on the leaves though a bit, so there's that also.
Yeah,
yeah.
same with spider mites and even aphids you'll see like on the stems and stuff. But fungus gnats, they're not doing a whole lot of damage. Um, and you're not really seeing them a whole lot either, except like I said, whether you got sticky traps or maybe if you got a bad infestation or something. But yeah, it's like that. You really like the leaf damage and stuff is what you got to be worried about.
You can honestly throw mosquito bits down in there and take care of that, or some BB spores,
Yeah,
and
Gotta do
usually
it.
takes
I
care
still
of that.
haven't used that. But what is it? The Bavaria Bassiana.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
those
I
are
still
two
haven't
different. Those are
opened
two
that.
different things. The mosquito bits are BTI, Bacillus
They're both
thuringiensis. Rarely.
fungi.
Yep.
Yep.
And then BB is Bavaria
Bavaria
Bassiana.
So
Bassiana.
what's
Yeah,
it?
and
I
that.
believe the BT bits. It also attracts things to go eat it, and that's how it
Well,
gets
right.
on.
So that's how that works. Is BTI? I think it's called the mosquito bits is the layman's term or whatever you want to call it. The brand name. Um, you can either put them on top of your soil, like the little bits or the rings, or you can actually put them in your reservoir, and it'll kind of just go to the reservoir, and then that fungus gets in the water and then gets in your root zone, and then yeah, those bugs go and eat that fungus, and then they get infected and die.
Are you talking
Whereas
about
it's
chunks? I don't
yes,
know if I'd put
mosquito
the
dung.
corn. You can put the corn chunks in your reservoir, or is there a different product that you're talking about?
I would strain them out,
Oh, okay.
but yeah, you could definitely put a sack of them in your reservoir and
Sack
just
them.
do it
All
that
right.
way.
All
Yeah,
right.
because it's not gonna like even with salts, organics, or whatever, it's not gonna affect your new root zone. It's not gonna affect your plants in any sort of negative way. It's just when something goes and eats it. It's kind of like a positive fungus in a way. Um, and similar Bavaria Bassiana, that's one of those ones that I don't think it has to eat it. I think it literally just has
Touches
to
it.
touch it.
Yep.
Yeah, and then it gets infected, and that's any soft body.
Yep.
That's something that like is fine. It's a nuclear option or whatever for indoors. Probably not something I recommend doing outdoors because we've talked about this before.
Yeah,
You're
I'm
probably gonna
in
be killing
cocoa where I don't
bees
give
and
a
stuff.
shit, to be honest, what lives in
Right.
my cocoa, or
Yeah, or
'cause
nothing should
most
be
of it I
living in your
don't
cocoa.
want.
Like,
We will
yeah,
chlorine bomb that shit.
Yeah,
right.
yeah. So that's why I've become a big fan of the BB and how cheap it is. You can get a little vial from Bokashi Everywhere for like, I think I paid $20, and that's like
I
100 or 200 gallons worth.
Dude,
Yeah,
I'd
I've got like a
still
And
argue.
it's
500
a
gram
spore. It's a
satchel. I haven't
spore. You're
opened.
inoculating, so it's really like you don't have one or two waters with it, and you should be good as long as your medium doesn't dry
I'd
out.
still argue that $100 bag from Botanigard from BioWorks is a way better value. I mean, that
Last
shit will
What's
last
from
years.
Botan? Was this?
Well,
Botanigard,
okay,
Bavaria
so
Bassiana, it's
but I
BBVA,
got mine.
where it comes
I
from.
got mine from BioSafe Systems, the same people, Tall and Sanidate and whatnot. Um, I want to say it's a 500 gram bag because it feels like it's about that size, right? It was like $125, I want to say, or so. It does have an expiration date on it though. I think it's like 18 months, maybe 2 years. It says is the
Couple years.
expiration date.
Way
So
less years.
yeah, and again, I haven't opened it. It's like, all right, well, I kind of need to use this in the next like 9 months or 12 months or whatever. And if I don't, well, guess what, guys? We've got a sale on Bavaria Bassiana spores from Frigoli, so hit me up.
You have
I
to
don't know
get
what to
It
do with it.
says here a 1 pound bag of Botanigard 22 WP, which is a very Bassiana strain,
WP's the
wettable powder.
Yep.
So $100.
Yeah, that's a
So that's
pound,
not bad, and that's a powder of spores. So like,
dude.
yeah,
It's
that goes a long way.
0.16 grams per gallon.
Yeah,
0.16.
yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah,
What is this, Mammoth P?
yeah, yeah.
But you got to
I
do
wish.
it every couple days, right? You got to break the life cycle because the adult flies, they're the ones that don't die from it. It's the egg.
Well,
Well,
how
that's the
long
thing.
does
If you're
the fungus last?
it's the fungus. It's gonna
Right.
start living.
It should last for
But
a
it's
week
got
or
to have
two,
the
right?
right. It's got to have the right conditions. It's got to have the humidity and the stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. It might be a little bit different in cocoa versus soil versus I don't even know if you could use it in hydroponics, but
Well, it's like the guys that heavy dry back. They're not gonna probably be able to do that. But like
Right.
I water my stuff even like I water usually on the same time every day, even if it's after a certain point, of course, in flower.
Yeah.
Even if it's a
Well,
little heavy, I'm still watering it. So like my shit stays moist enough. I know for a fact because you'll get mushrooms sometimes.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, when you start
Here's the
using
thing about the
BP.
drybacks and stuff is the drybacks actually help with things like fungus gnats and some of those
They can if you take it far enough.
Right, but then you're taking away the IPM side of things, like the Bavaria Bassiana, the nematodes, like that has to
Yeah,
be
exactly.
a
That's what I'm
moist root
saying. I
zone
don't
there.
like doing that.
So it's like it's kind of one or the other.
It's a good.
I think. Go
Using
ahead, Brad.
those in the same sentence, though, to note that if you are using Bavaria bassiana and nematodes, that Bavaria bassiana will kill the nematode.
Soft-bodied. Yeah.
So what you can do
I
is
don't.
you
I
can
think I
use the
looked that up, and
BB.
that's not true. That
Is that
doesn't
not
happen
true?
because
Oh,
they're not soft body. Nematodes are smaller, way smaller, and they're parasites. I don't think they're
So they're
affected
not
by
even like.
fungi. I
well,
think I looked it up when I was looking into all this, or I asked Brandon Russ or something about it because I was worried about it because I ordered it all. I had his spores and I was ordering nematodes and bugs, and I didn't want to
And
waste
even if you
money.
were worried,
Right.
you could mix the spores and water and foliar apply it and then treat the soil with nematodes if you were really worried about it.
Yeah, but
Would
because
that
like
work?
nematodes are microscopic level.
Yes, that would work. You
You
can
you
do
can
both.
spray
Should it be transplanted
nematodes.
through the plant?
You could spray
Oh,
the
Bavaria
fungus.
bassianus. Yeah, you can
Yeah.
spray that and nematodes in the same batch even, because
Yeah.
and on the plant.
Yeah.
Nematodes, they'll tell you on like Coper and all the websites, they can be a IPM foliar. You can't do it in
Yeah.
legal Michigan. You can't do it in the rec or the medical market because you're basically putting microbes on your plant and it's going to test for
Yeah.
that. And they're just going to be
Yeah.
like, oh, those are bad. But, um,
Microbes are bad.
yeah, exactly what I was thinking, Spartan. Okay, this is a cry out. Okay,
a pyrethrin or a thymol or some other type of botanical oil, that someone might be using as an organic pesticide, similar to was the canatrol, I think is Mammoth P's thyme oil
Yeah.
version.
yeah,
And then there's,
yeah.
the many different pyrethrin blends that are organic, OMRI certified. Do any of you know if that will kill either nematodes or Bavaria bassiana or make them ineffective?
So I've used Pyganic 5.0, which is pyrethrin.
Pyrethrin,
And
okay.
I got the same idea from Brandon Russ, and I asked him, and he said, "Don't use them together." Or for the BB, as far as specifically the BB and the pyrethrin,
Okay.
those will cancel each other out. I don't know about nematodes. I would guess so because pyrethrin's pretty powerful stuff for anything but us and pets. It paralyzes the nervous system of almost anything, and that thus killing it. So I think, but does a fungi have a nervous system and does a nematode? I don't know. We would need somebody expert like Sink Angel. But yeah.
We
Hey guys, I'm gonna take off here. I appreciate the show and the opportunity tonight. Obviously, I'm not in my normal situation, and I'm gonna go and enjoy the rest of the night with Mrs. Fergoli. So appreciate
All
it,
right,
guys.
man.
We'll see you
Yeah.
soon.
Have a good
Thanks
night.
for stopping by, man.
Get one of them Chicago pizzas that they talk about.
Dude, all I want
Cheers,
is
Mrs.
those are
Foley.
delicious too. But I really want a. Oh yeah, she does say hi to everybody. By the way, I totally forgot to say that. But I want one of them Chicago O'Hare. Dude, those are so good. I'll
He
leave you with
cut
that.
out on it. He left it and cut out on it.
No, Chicago O'Hare. I think airport. The hot dogs with the pickles and the jalapenos.
Oh,
Are just,
okay.
mwah!
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He goes to
That
Chicago and
sounds
gets a
fun.
hot dog. That would be like me flying across the country and just getting a pretzel.
What you go to Detroit to get if you went to get a Coney Island?
true.
We just Spartan and I live where the Coney dog was invented.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
I got kept before I left Cincinnati. We were craving chili dogs, so we had us a couple before we left Cincinnati this weekend. They were yummy, but they were made terribly. I was so upset.
Oh, see, I didn't know
Literally
if
had the
that's what you
paw,
meant
like,
last night, or
in
if
my
you
mouth.
regretted it, like like you regret Mexican food or something like that. But now I know what you mean. It was made terribly. Okay.
Yes, it was made horribly. The bun was all soggy. The chili was all over. I literally had it in my hand like
Oh,
this.
that
trying to
pissed me
stuff it.
off.
Terrible. Chili, cheese everywhere. I was like,
It's because it's
The
just
fact that a bun is soggy is just like how does that even happen? That's like when I get old French fries at the middle of
it's because people just
lunch
don't care.
hour.
Flop
Yeah.
the chip everywhere and just don't even think about the bun falling apart when you're trying to eat it. It literally.
Well, they throw the hot dog on the bun too early, and they just let it sit there, and they let it sit there, and they let it sit there, and it just gets fucking wetter and wetter, and then you throw all the shit on top.
It's nasty sogginess. Now, if I'd have been inside and they'd give me that, they'd have had made me new ones.
Yeah.
Throw it.
Barton
Yeah.
I like my chili dogs with mustard and onions too, and cheese.
A good
I
Chicago.
like to get chili cheese dogs. That's if I'm going to get a chili dog, which I don't get them often, but I'll get a chili cheese dog sometimes from Rudy's.
I've never had a Chicago style
with
hot
pickle,
dog. I don't
mustard
think I-
on, no ketchup. You don't
yeah,
put no
no, I don't
ketchup.
think I've
Yeah, I've
ever
had Chicago style dogs. Those are good. I enjoyed those.
It's good
I
to
like
have a
all,
mix, different kind.
I
I
just
guess
like all
that's
those
what
toppings. I
Ferroli
guess.
was talking about.
Yeah, we have an
Chicago
international
dog.
dog house here in where we live too. They're baked, and you could go. You could
Oh,
go enjoy a
boy.
Chicago style hot dog if you
Oh,
want to from
boy.
here. You don't have to go as far.
Boy,
A hot dog. The who knows what meat. Yeah.
on
High
that thing.
quality.
All beef, baby.
Oh, but you're okay eating a Pop-Tart with the who knows what substance I'm
Yeah,
fucking shoving in
I
my
got a
face.
hot dog right here,
There
baby.
you go. There you go.
Wait,
CIA
wait.
chemicals. CIA chemicals.
Yeah, buddy. They keep me going.
Sorry about that. Okay, now-
That's the problem. That's the problem. I don't know what's in the Pop Tart. Okay. I've been eating them for 32
Okay,
motherfucking
also.
years. I'm all right. I do know what's in a hot dog, and it's fucking everything. It's like a chicken nugget from McDonald's. They just grind everything up and put it in a fucking shape. That's disgusting. That's
They do
just
the
like
same thing with that food they just stamped out for you to a Pop-Tart.
no, that's artfully crafted at a factory
Chemicals. Just
with
straight-
a robot that gave it love and care. And I
Robot.
won't stand for anything else.
It was an echoes had echoed around.
Isn't there a Pop Tart factory up here? Are
Kellogg's,
these like
probably.
straight from the fucking factory farm?
Probably. I don't know about farm, but factory. for
Freshest
sure.
Pop Tarts in the world?
Upon
I don't know about fresh.
that may
Why?
be intended to do very specific
I would
actions.
say the only thing that I would argue against you baked is this, okay? The stuff that is in a hot dog is all animal products usually. It's all the animal ground up, right?
Like all beef
Maybe
hot
some bugs, like there's an allowable amount of things, right?
Same
But
thing. And
I take that over the fucking terrible ass sugar and oils and all that stuff that's killing us, is all I'm going to say.
I'm cool with some.
Fight
with-
me on
with-
that
with a
because I'm
few-
right.
Fight me on that.
Over a fire, hot dog stick on a fire.
I don't-
And
I
you
don't
can
like-
Stick on
get
fire.
100% beef hot dogs, dude.
Yeah.
Good beef hot dogs.
You're not gonna win on this. You're not gonna win me on this.
I'm
Ever.
not a big hot dog eater, so whatever. I feel you.
wait a minute. I will back up. You can't just say you're not going to win this. That's not an argument. She just gave you an excellent argument, and your response back is
That this isn't real? What do you
You're not
mean?
good
It's
with
right
this.
here. It's edible. If I eat it, does it poop out? Yes.
What does it do to your body?
so would a rock, man. That doesn't
Without
make a rock food.
What does a hot dog do to your body?
Depends on where you get it from, honestly. There's good cuts of meat. There's good places to get shit from. Pop-Tarts, you could probably get an organic Pop-Tart. It's not going
It'd
to
probably
taste
be
like that water.
disgusting. Yeah,
It's
that's
not,
the
it's
thing.
not
It's
what
like
he's eating, though. It's not what
And
he's
it's-
eating.
it's like you have to train yourself to like natural and organic foods and say that they're tasty, but it's just
just
because
say-
you haven't had a Pop Tart in 40 years, and
Or
and
maybe-
you're deprived of delicious sucrose.
Or maybe
And-
because you haven't had real food, you don't have the biota in your guts that even likes that
I mean,
food, doesn't
I
know
would
how to
argue that-
digest that food. So when you get that food, it's like, what the fuck is this?
Well, it tastes like grass. Talk to my taste buds, not my gut. It doesn't even make it to the gut before I'm like, this doesn't taste.
No, you
as
don't.
Good.
No, you don't even know, man. The reason you have cravings for things is because the microbes in your guts are dying off because they don't have enough food source to continue, and
Yeah,
they're fucking.
Well, my
tweaking your
microbes
brain.
are like, give me a Pop Tart.
I
That's
would
what I'm
I
say,
go
saying.
get
You're,
a fucking
I would
Pop Tart.
say
so
like
you're a
And
slave to your
everybody's happy.
microbes.
I'm happy because it tastes good. The microbes are happy.
You're not happy when your health deteriorates, though.
I would
That's
say
way
this.
later. Everybody's health
Oh, okay.
deteriorates. I
Way
don't play, but I
later,
don't. Do you know how many what ifs? Like so many bad things we do. We shouldn't even
Yeah.
be smoking carcinogens. There's carcinogens in the plant.
Is there?
Like, yeah,
I would
it's
say
like
this.
the chlorophyll and shit. That shouldn't be smoked.
It's okay to eat a Pop Tart, but the Pop Tart is not going to nourish you. The Pop Tart is going to be more like
No.
eating candy or having a treat than it is like actually nourishing your body. Whereas a hot dog, you're eating a piece of meat protein that can be a good hot dog, like actual grass fed meat, and that could be packed into a hot dog casing, like good pig fat protein casing. It's all protein and it's full of nourishment, not loaded with sugar chemicals that are actually designed as candy substitute for pleasure, not actual substance. Whereas food should be designed as substance and treats and such should be designed as candy. And our food system supports the fact that candy is marketed as sustenance, and that is a false information. And we do not have proper choice decisions in our food, and that is a very big issue. And that's why we have obesity and heart disease higher than most other countries in the world, and that's a very big issue in the United States.
If you look at, yeah, I agree. And if
Sure,
you look at
but
that
I don't
box,
like.
if you look at that box and look at the side of it, you're gonna see most of it is just sugar. That's what that is. So you might as well be.
And CIA chemicals designed to manipulate and distract us.
I guess. Oh wow.
At least
I don't know.
at least you
I'm
smoke.
not gonna live by some like strict fucking nature fucking like diet that all these people want everyone to switch to.
Who's all these
It's
people?
America.
I would say
Everyone
all these
talking to me
people-
right now.
Well,
No, I'm just saying you can't judge
There's a
one
huge
food. I'm just saying it's a
movement to
little.
change food and all that, which is fine. Cool. Leave me out of it.
change your protein.
I
Am
was
I
just saying.
dying? I'm
I
not
was
dying.
saying, I'm just saying you can't be on a pedestal about one food and then turn around and be hypocritical and eating another type of food that's just as terrible or arguably worse.
Well, then I can't be critical about anything.
We're not
Perfect.
suggesting. We're not.
But then we're in a world of no critics and nothing gets critiqued, and then it's just fucking bullshit.
Okay,
We're
but
not
you're only feeling that way because you have no health issues.
We're not
As soon as
suggesting
there's
food for
anything,
climate
you'll
change. We're
also-
suggesting food for actual.
So if I switch all my foods, so everybody who eats healthy doesn't have health issues.
I wouldn't say that calling it eating healthy.
I don't
would
think
say
so.
Eating food, because
Especially considering where am I gonna get healthy vegetables right now? Where am I gonna get healthy fruits? Not the
in your
store.
backyard,
They're all shit.
You have
All right, that's gonna take me how much for a apple tree? That's gonna take a couple of years. Blueberries, that I don't have any. That's what I'm saying. It's not
years from now. It's a great investment because it's infinite supply.
sure.
And then it's more of an investment on yourself.
It's definitely not easy to eat healthy from the store. That's just it's
not cheap at all.
It's not
ridiculous
easy to eat
expensive.
healthy
but you gotta make
taste wise, and I don't like people that argue that it tastes better. Maybe you can learn to make it taste better, but on a strictly taste level,
I don't know, man. We eat very
That-
flavorful food.
but you don't eat Pop Tarts.
Sugar's not a good flavor for me. Like seasonings and like wholesome, like
That's my whole point.
robust things that hit your palate. That's food, not sugar.
But Baked wants convenience. See, the convenience of the food that he's got is I can just open it up from the package and stuff it in my
That
mouth.
too. That's amazing.
Yeah, I understand that will catch up.
But that doesn't really work because on their side there's a lot of plants you can
It
go
will catch
pluck
up
off
with
of
you in the form of headaches and pain
plant.
management. It's very
we're also
destructive
not
to your body.
perfect. We don't eat
But
well.
that's what I'm saying. It's like I talk to people, not just you guys. But I talk to people like this all the time. It's like talking to a Christian. It's like a loop wall. It's like cool. Thanks for the info, but like
No, I don't care what you do with your body whatsoever. You can eat whatever you want. The problem is that most people think that things like Pop Tarts are actual because it's a calorie, that it's nourishment, and the fact is it's candy. But if you want to eat candy for your food, that's totally fine. Just know that you're going to live with headaches and things. I mean, that's
I
totally
mean,
cool.
I guess, but
You can smoke weed.
I consider these more candy than a Pop Tart. And
Yeah.
I think the sugar content's a bit different, but
You should Google it right now and see instead of thinking. I
What,
bet you they're pretty
Rose
close.
sugar?
I bet you they're pretty close.
They're pretty close.
I bet they're
I
really
look at
close.
sugar all day. It's what I pay attention to because I have,
Oh my
you know,
god, the sugar in things is insane.
it all converts to sugar. Also, everything.
And then when you're talking about what a gram looks
there's
like,
more in Pop Tarts.
you remember a gram?
Is there more in Pop Tarts? Are
There's
you
twice
kidding
as
me?
much in a Pop Tart than I should be eating this blow pop then for breakfast.
It's like a
Holy shit.
think of a
That's
cup.
amazing.
Sugar
It's
is
like
Yeah.
a cup of sugar in a soda.
sugar is a drug, and I'm not trying to preach because I have candy next to me. You know,
It does gnarly things to your body and your pancreas, and it allows your body to completely stop producing insulin and does some pretty gnarly things. It's rough stuff. And we're talking, most of the time we're talking about medicinal plant and healing. So it's a good topic to include food into cannabis health, because I don't think that cannabis is going to alleviate your pain unless you're actually proactively alleviating your pain with other responsibilities like your food health and your gut health and mental health and things like that, because all of it's tied together. That's the only.
What? Yeah, I don't have any pain. So,
Well, yeah. You might.
obviously, yeah, later.
But most
But
Yeah, but if you could find a vegetable alternative that's less processed, like hummus and fucking, I don't know, a chip or a fucking pretzel or something to dip it out of, or carrots and hummus are good as fuck.
sure, if it tastes good.
That's what I'm just saying. Well, to me it does. Do you like garlic?
Yeah,
You like garlic? You like GMO?
carrot.
Get you some garlic hummus.
The grocery store is a total representation
My
of
favorite.
good food. That's the problem. Is growing good food has such a higher bricks content than what you're going to get at the grocery store. You're going to get more sugars. You're going to actually be more satiated with your sugar palate cleanse. That if you're searching for sugar, you're going to get it in better earth grown food than what you're going to get in.
Yeah, but I'd much rather see him go buy a package of hummus than not try hummus because he hasn't grown the chickpeas to smash it up himself.
I get that. Yeah, but that's
No.
he's but I think people coming off of a different diet, hummus is definitely an acquired taste. I think you're just gonna have to go for probably that
That's
candy.
probably true. I like a lot of weird shit that I love.
Oh, I do too. I love hummus,
for
but,
sure.
but you're gonna have to go through the candy hummus phase first. Where you get the sugary hummus to kind of work your way into the good hummus.
the texture is weird. For sure.
Yeah. But that's with everything. That is literally all those products. I love raw. Speaking of Mediterranean dishes, just raw garlic dip. Dude, that's one that's an acquired taste for sure. But I love raw garlic dip. And that should make you sick too if you eat too much of it, or if you get the wrong shit. We've definitely got some bad garlic dip from a spot. But dude, garlic will make you so fucking healthy. That shit will it'll heal you. You know what I mean? It's loaded with iron and loaded with anti.
I'm growing up in my backyard right now. Man.
Yeah, dude, it'll literally heal you up. So there's that's just some of those things that just you can't get off of synthetic foods, factory made foods won't actually heal your body. Where that's why I don't consider those things as food. I think food is something that you put in your body that actually heals you. It doesn't just nourish.
Well, I think the best. Yeah, I'm saying the same thing you are, but I've always said it the same as food is medicine. Flip it.
Disease. You know what I mean?
Yeah, think of food as medicine rather than food as sustenance. Think of food as medicine, and it'll switch your way about how you even approach food
and what you put in your body as food. Because I look at candy and stuff as more like chemicals, and those are chemicals designed to hurt me.
I still eat candy. I fucking love.
Well,
candy.
it's like I don't drink
I still
anything.
Yeah.
I don't drink anything but water now, and now I have nothing to look forward to as far as liquids. So it's you can
make teas, dude. You can make teas. There's tons of things you can make. You look forward to. You can grow all different types of plants and make all different types of teas.
It's
I'm
gonna
sure you
it's
can
gonna
find good.
taste it's gonna taste like a lightly flavored water.
Mash up some blueberries,
Some of
man.
it's gonna surprise you once you get it cold, and then
Smash
drink
some
just that
blueberries,
light taste.
strawberries.
It's so good.
They got natural sugar in them. Add a little agave. Use other forms of natural sugars. You know.
My favorite's ginger. Just ginger. It's my favorite. It's so good.
You definitely have to learn to like a lot of things. I'm like just learning. I don't like a lot of things still. A lot of vegetables. Like I was a picky kid. I ate shit my whole
I'd eat peas and carrots, and I never fed them to my kids because I didn't like them.
I only ate mac and cheese. I refused to eat anything else. Peanut butter and jelly and mac and cheese. It's how I grew up, you know? And so I'm like, cooking really helped me get into eating better because I enjoy cooking and experimenting with flavors and all that stuff. Like, that's fun. And it's cool. I like it.
I guess it never really dawned on me until I started noticing how my diet affected my actual physical, pain and the way pain and shit like that works. So yeah, I mean, if you don't really experience a lot of pain, if you don't experience a lot of headaches and things like that, you are in good health. It's not really, you're not really going to notice. And then maybe for me, it was, shit caught up with me. Maybe it was, a shock, trauma, whatever happened that made it flare up. But like, I would notice that when I was on diets that were just a little bit better, I would feel a lot better. I wouldn't have the things that were weighing me down occurring. And then when I would, I guess, binge, have a bad day, like eat fast food or just something like that, it wouldn't just like, it was like I was hungover. It was like literally a hangover for like 3 days or like a week, right? Just wouldn't like, not just a stomach ache or get the shits, but like headaches, drowsy, just like unproductive, stamina-less, like actually like physiologically affecting my body. It's strange. It's like you took drugs. And in a lot of senses, depending on what's in those foods or what's in those synthetic, food. I won't go,
Careful now.
whatever's. It kind of is drugs, because I do think that a lot of these things had been. There's some chemicals that do act upon like the dyes, the red dye. That's some fucked up stuff. And when you talk about the system Pedialyte and like when I probably shouldn't use a brand, but when you talk about like formula from infancy, when they're talking like the types of like dyes and chemicals and stuff that you're immediately introduced to that disrupt nervous systems and health and almost make it so that if you're susceptible to disease, you could be on pharmaceuticals at a very early age. Like it's a weird closed loop. Like when we talk about the bullets to band-aids type thing, and it's a very similar thing when you talk about the way the food system is designed and the pharmaceutical industry is designed. And then you get into understanding that, like I'm not going to get into names. Never mind. No more other stuff about that. But yeah, food system is a gnarly rabbit hole.
It's such a rabbit hole.
and I think that unfortunately today it's less about capitalism and more about controlling us. How everything about us, whether it's making us lazy, whether it's for scarcity and panic, causing panic or whatever it is, supply chain issues, this, that, and the other. Like there's this huge disconnect where we feel like we have this reliance on our number one necessity. And here's the other trip, right? If we calculated, and I'm sure that if a lot of you calculate where your bills go, like even our mortgage, man, we got a high mortgage, we pay a high number, but our food is our number one monthly expense. Like if you go through all of our expenses and bracket everything out, what we eat, what our spending on food,
As growers, I like Bill.
As growers. Well, that's the number one motive. That's the number one motive to like grow our own food. You know what I mean? Is that expense is to knock that down. But like that's
Yeah.
when you think about it, like not only are you growing your own food, but you're not paying taxes on what you grow. You know, you get a lot of tax free. Like when you're able to utilize that stuff and trade for other things, you're getting other things tax free. There's a lot of kind of like
You
huge.
think if a wave of we were talking about this at work because well I don't want to have to ever eat vegetables and stuff like that. There may become a time I have to,
Mm-hmm.
and we were talking about how like the whole system of no lawns, everybody just had a garden.
You know,
Really,
potatoes make French fries, right? So you could eat
well, I
potatoes.
eat vegetables.
And
I
you
don't
can
count that after it hits the
process
fryer.
beans, and you can
That's
process
not really
beans
fair.
down into gnarly like protein patties and like eat burgers and shit. Like there's ways to kind of like eat vegetables so it's not as rough, but
You
Well,
can
yeah.
also
you
make
can also eat meat.
vegetables taste
You
good.
know,
You
yeah,
can make them
you can
taste
also eat meat. Like
good.
Well, by adding bad stuff, I'm sure, like
No,
bad spices and stuff.
garlic,
you,
salt,
you,
pepper,
you can eat
man, does it
cows and
every
pigs.
Salt
time.
and pepper, not good
You
for
know,
you.
we can as a group go and split.
Here we
Like
are.
all of us could toss in a dime piece and go get half a pig from Morganja Farm and eat naturally.
I'm not
You
eating no
know,
pig. See, that's why would you eat a pig?
You
because
gotta
What'd
get.
that pig do to
it's
you?
natural food. He was fed. He was fed. Well, he lived
You
a
just
good
eat a
life.
bunch of broccoli and get your protein
He
there.
lived a good life,
We are just talking about broccoli.
and he's ready
does
to
not.
serve his community, which our
But
parents do.
so we were talking about if everybody had a garden in their front yard, nobody would really have to go hungry if everybody wasn't a jerk off. And because it's just like there'd be too much food around. Yeah, you wouldn't be able to pick what you want to eat, but if you were hungry, your neighbor probably wouldn't go. He'd have a
Well, yeah.
basket of vegetables or something. So if this actually happened, because there's a lot more talk of homesteading and things like that these days. You don't think the government's gonna start taxing vegetables?
They will. They will. They do, and they
They're gonna have
will.
a
How can I
drone over your house counting you picking vegetables and
Well,
be like,
that's
you
one of the
picked
That's
12
problems.
vegetables.
Rooftop gardens, like
that's why it's important that we don't lose any of our rights.
Well, yeah,
Exactly.
that's what
That's
that
when we
just
rise
made
the
me think.
fuck
I was
up.
like,
That's why we believe, like at Rosemary's Oasis, specifically, I guess is a good plug. So that we really want to bring those two communities of the cannabis community and the homesteading, gardening, farming communities really together because we do think we have so much in common, like politically. We just don't, just because tomatoes are legal, doesn't mean that like selling tomatoes to your neighbor or at some time in the future, making sure that people get tomatoes for free easily or something like that won't be an issue because you're right, dude. Like once a lot more people are growing tomatoes and freely gifting food and it puts a disruption on the actual supply chain that is,
that'd be neat though.
you know,
But
yeah,
Way neat.
yeah, it would be awesome anarchy. It really would. It would be the best part of anarchy possible because people would not go hungry. You know what I
there,
mean?
there's a house like that in Florida in my neighborhood that had a front yard completely gardened out. I don't know what their backyard looked like.
I don't dog
Where in
on
Florida?
Tallahassee.
specifically.
We we follow somebody who's in Florida and does like a whole huge garden in his front
No,
yard.
it wasn't that big. I mean, we're talking like
Yeah,
quarter acre front yard type thing, but it was all raised bed, just everywhere, as much as they could fit.
near St. Pete's. Yeah,
I'd love to do that in our front yard, but it's pretty shaded, so we can't get
Yeah,
up there.
yeah.
yeah, we totally have a lot in common. You know, it and I mean, gifting food, would be a really great thing, man.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Red, though. Here's where we're gonna have to compromise. I don't want to go backwards on technology in the future.
Do you
I don't
mean
want
like the tractor
What do you mean?
shit and, like
What's going backwards?
stuff? Because you don't have to do
like
that.
I don't want to stop progress.
So what's
I don't
so
think you have to stop
Like
You
progress.
have this bad progress?
research, new computers,
No,
stuff
there's
like that.
there's room
Oh,
for.
yeah.
That's what I've always imagined was some sort of mesh of nature and
In fact,
techno
what's really
in a
cool is
good
that
way. In
modern
a good way,
technology,
but
you can close
like,
loops easier with modern technology. Utilize modern
well,
technology
yeah,
to close loops. You know
like
what I mean?
solar panel setups and
Yeah,
stuff. I guess.
utilize what you have to like make things like geothermal heating easier on yourself. Use what
That's a big one.
what we have in
The
waste,
geothermal
tires,
thing.
glass and bottles and all that shit. Use it as building supplies. The problem
Yeah,
that we have right now is more politically because
I
townships
believe
won't
that.
allow you to build a house out of those supplies because it needs to blend in with all the other ticky-tacky homes in your neighborhood. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
we
Still
really have
pass
more
their
issues
or
codes or
support all
ordinances.
their contractor buddies who don't use those supplies.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
We can't use reclaimed waste materials for building supplies legally. You have to get a special permit for that, or be under what is it? Experimental home type permit. You can't actually live there. It's all kinds of stupid shit. Just to go slightly more, less conventional, but more efficient. And that's kind of like what will end up happening once everybody tries growing their own food. They're going to get involved more politically, and yeah. So
I
like most
suppose.
places, I don't, maybe not most, but a lot of places you can't collect rain, you can't build a structure for rain collection, anything like that, or have a
Yeah, that
uh,
one's
set up,
beyond horse shit. I don't understand that one.
even though you have land for it or whatever.
That's another thing. We only have 4 minutes, so I'll be quick. But I watched a little thing, and that's the other thing was water. Our water gets so fucked with
Mhm.
that a lot of people think our water is also the issue of a lot of health. Like this one guy
Yeah,
was
for
talking about how
sure.
he traveled to Italy, and wherever he was, they only used real stone aqueducts.
Yeah.
And he felt so good, even though he really ate like shit, like pizzas or something there over there, but he still felt fine. And then he came back, and he was even more like American healthy, like working out and shit, and
Still felt like shit.
felt like shit though. And he was thinking it was the water, but and
Here's one.
then I mean, we already know they fuck with like fluoride and stuff, so it's
Yeah.
like
Well,
what else is
and
good?
also just kind of the way that this isn't really like a shit on capitalism, but the way that it's designed is like everything overproduced just gets thrown away. It doesn't really get utilized in any sort of way. So, like, you know, when people start to grow their own food or like have their own ability or what's be self sufficient in that sense, like stuff doesn't really get thrown away. It gets reused. And like, it's not that it's anti capitalism, but it's a better use of your efficiency, and management of your resources, really. And because like, we don't want to disturb the planet so bad. That's kind of our purpose. It's not an anti capitalism move. It's a move into efficient living, I'd say, you know. And I think that's probably a good spot to end that.
Yep, we got 2 minutes. Thanks, chat.
We're
Coming
gonna get baked.
by.
We're gonna get baked to eat a vegetable. It's gonna happen.
Did I eat a vegetable this
Dude,
year?
you know what you should eat, dude? You should try some
I ate a
broccoli.
rice. Is rice a vegetable? No.
What about cucumber? That's so
Technically,
bland.
yeah.
Yeah, that's just water. That's
Look,
not healthy.
you should try
That's the salsa,
you should
like
try
a
broccoli baked. I
blend.
swear. It's like one of the highest protein vegetables.
I know,
You
but
can just
I hear it's the worst tasting.
Can
no
we
you
put
what you
salt
do
on it?
what
You
you
like
do is you
salt?
just
You're right.
what you do is you
I love
just slice
salt.
it
Salt's
flat,
good for you, man. Salt's a
throw it
health food.
throw it on a baking sheet with a little bit of salt or garlic salt and some
Yeah,
Parmesan
buddy.
cheese.
Veggies
Bake
with
it in
We'll
the
salt.
have
oven
to
at
try
400.
something, cause that's
It's
the
good as
goal this
fuck.
year. But
Yeah, don't think of veggies as bland. Think you can still season them with some good shit, and it's still good for you. It's all about like what chemicals you're actually using to season it.
I make some good broccoli and like lemon and garlic. It's good. It's
I
pretty
like
good.
lemons. I
Yeah,
like lemons.
yeah,
There
man.
you go.
Makes
There we
broccoli
go.
look really
He's
good.
getting his
We'll have to
interest.
try something.
Oh, dude, yeah.
It's you have to get me in the right mood though. That's the hard part.
Alright,
Like, sometimes I had to psych myself up.
Munchies.
you'll just
And I
have
was
to
like-
be in a place where you
I was
can
like-
We'll have a whole
get other
box
You
of
have to-
Pop-Tarts
You
ready.
have to bring it to his house so he's in a safe and secure location and he feels safe to try a new experience.
We'll have a pallet.
That usually works too. That's how I trip too. It's a trip. I felt safe in my house.
Dude,
Party
mushrooms
Totally.
might help the situation
Mushrooms
too.
might help the situation.
All right, chat. We'll see you Sundays.
Cheers, everybody.
Hey,
Thanks for
everybody.
Have a great night. Eat
Keep
your
growing.